And that's where I got to ask you now. We're talking about health, but let's go over to the professional side of things. You were a realtor before you opened up Sam McDadi Real Estate. You were with Remax, I believe.
Yeah, I was with a few different brokerages. I
Yes.
think I started off with Home Life for about a year. Then I was with Sutton for quite a few years, and then Remax for about 14 years.
Okay, so you were in real estate about 20 years before you opened up your own shop.
Correct.
So many people talk about opening their own shop. Many people dream of doing, opening their own business. Very few ever do it. And the ones that do it don't always succeed at it. It's a very challenging game. What you did, I would say, took a lot of guts. Don't know how much of it was planned or not planned. Walk me through the process as far as from having your client base, because when you're a realtor, you work at a brokerage, but you're still independent. But what made, because I've heard other people talk about it, they're saying, you know what, it's not for me. I can't go run my own shop. I don't want to manage other people's problems. People turnover. I have to, there's a lot more responsibilities. I just want to sell houses, buy houses, help clients. I'm done with it. You're doing that plus that. What was the mindset to open up what became this empire that is Sam McDadi Real Estate?
I appreciate the kind words, but looking back, I had a difference of opinion with my broker at the time, and I'm ultra loyal. Unless somebody shows me a reason not to be, I'll be loyal forever, right? So, and it probably became a bit of a blessing because that difference allowed me to look at different options. And I remember I said, okay, we're going to make a change because I don't think our broker backed me as they should have. And we were thinking first of getting a Remax franchise. And I remember at a team meeting, and Remax was all in. They didn't want to lose us, etc. At a team meeting, I said jokingly, "How about McDadi Real Estate?" And they said, "Yeah, we're ready for that. We can do it." And I was, we were kind of sold that we needed the red, white, and blue marketing brand. And it turned out that, and I'll share a story with you. So the team said, "Yeah, we want to do it. We want to do it." So I talked to a couple of really good friends. I said, "What do you think about McDadi Real Estate versus staying with the Remax family?" And he said, "Let me think about it for a day or two." A really good friend. He said, "I think it's time for you guys to do it." So with that in mind, I gave my broker 5 months notice. I said, May 1st, 2012, or whatever the day was, we're going to start a new shop. And whatever you want to tell the agents, I'm happy to support that because I don't want your business to be hurt. Because, I was, I guess it was going to shake up things a little bit for me leaving. So May 1st, we opened shop, and I was really excited. And we hired our team. It was a new kind of experience because we have to have deal secretaries, receptionists. Back then, we just had my own team within, but all the operational side was being dealt with. So day one, we're open, we're excited, we transfer all our listings, and from 9 to 12, not one phone call. So I'm like, oh boy, maybe I miscued. I'm actually turning red, thinking, what am I going to do now? Da da da. And I get a call at 12 o'clock saying, "Listen, we apologize, the phone lines are down, but now you're up and running." And we never looked back after that, right? But it does take courage. It wasn't an easy step, but it was the right step for us. And thinking back now, like, yeah, honestly, we've got 7 offices now, and there's nothing wrong with the Remaxes and Royal LePages, but there's still territories and grids, so the expansion possibilities would have been a little bit more restrictive, etc. So for us, I mean, having our own brand was really, really a big stepping stone for us to continue on the path. And Remax allowed people a few years before that to have their own sign identity. So it's no longer the traditional Remax signs, which I think from a Remax perspective, that was a mistake. Because when we made the overnight, midnight shift, so to speak, we just went and put stickers on our old signs. It looked like, because we had already our branded signs anyway, so it wasn't like anybody even knew that we made a change. It was just business as usual. Our phone numbers were routed back to us. We already had our own numbers. So, but yeah, I think the journey's been great, and we're really happy. And I think for me, the biggest piece that we talked about earlier off air is that a great team. That's the key piece. So that's why my love is selling. It's sales, marketing. It's not the administrative. So having a really good supporting cast has made all the difference.
Now I'm looking at the numbers here, and my eyes are coming out of their sockets as I'm seeing them. Over 5.5 billion in sales, over 11,000 homes. Am I reading that correctly?
I believe that's correct.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I mean, you're a GDP of a country basically. It's incredible when you see those kind of numbers, and that takes a lot of accolade. That means there's a lot of folks in the community that trusted you, trusted the brand, trusted your agents with their biggest asset of their lives, their home, and buying, selling. That's a big honor. I mean, to be involved with that many people, that's not an accident. That's not a fluke when it comes to those numbers. It's got to be very humbling and very rewarding at the same time to know that you help that many people.
Yeah, it's been great. And when you asked earlier on, I just wanted a career I was going to be happy with. I didn't know what it was going to look like at the end, but I knew I was going to give everything I had. And I think from my tennis training background that I was prepared to pay the price for success and the sacrifices that come with it. And a lot of people, want that, but they're not ready to pay the price. And I remember talking to 8,000 realtors in Austin, Texas. They had myself and somebody from the U.S. who had a high level of success. And I said, listen, I'll share everything with you guys. I mean, there's no holds barred. I'll share everything I've done. But the question is, I hope you're not the person who takes all this in and Monday, Tuesday, you forget about it all. Let you be that one person who actually says, I'm going to do this and really make a change. Because really, that'd make me happy, right? Because most people, I mean, you go to these big seminars, rah-rah seminars, and they come out all enthused and energized. And by the end of the next week, they're back to their day-to-day, right? And like, that you didn't accomplish what you're supposed to. You really have to make permanent life changes to really have success.
But you grow into this and you develop this reputation. And now, in my mind, early on, it's the king of Mississauga. It's the king of luxury real estate. Those are two synonymous with Sam McDadi. Is real estate is then Mississauga and luxury. And which is a really, really great branding to have and great image to have. I remember one day I'm driving through the Yonge and Eglinton corridor. What do I see there? But I see a sign, coming soon, Sam McDadi Real Estate. When I saw that, I said, oh boy, we're taking over the world now. You could have been satisfied in one territory, in one city, huge city, great reputation, hard enough as it is with so much competition there. Walk me through how to branch out, why to branch out, and how that feels now being in so many areas.
So interesting, you had noted that luxury person, etc. So when I started my career as a first-time buyer specialist, so I was dealing with properties that are $80,000 or $100,000 because the prices were much different. And if I did a deal for $300,000, like that was over the top celebration because that was just a big number. But at one point, I said, we've kind of captured the lower mid-price range, but we should also leverage out to the high end because we have so much value-added services that I think we should also be part of that mix. So we went on an aggressive marketing campaign, and I was farming the whole south of Mississauga, 22,500 every week. 22,500 flyers were going out, and people were saying, "Yeah, we recognize him. He's more uptown. He's not really in South Mississauga." So I took my first listing as a loss leader. I said, "I don't care if I make money on this. I just want to get my name out there." We were providing staging 20 years ago, which other people were not. I mean, we were kind of the forefront of actually not just doing a consultation, we're bringing furniture and accessories and having pre-inspection. So we were just list with us because of ABC, right? So and a lot of people said, listen, that market, that's going to be tough to capture because there's some long established players there. And, you just can't say that to us, right? Because our mind says, no, you tell us we can, we will, right? So within 6 months, we actually became number one in the luxury market, which is kind of unheard of. So when people say, oh no, I don't want to farm that area, it's difficult. I said, listen, that's just a mindset. Like, what stops you from being the next person? They maybe want fresh new blood, young blood, different ideas. So, but if you already think that, you're not going to achieve. So to me, when you said that, it was kind of interesting. But same thing with real estate. We did such a good job in Mississauga. I thought, okay, naturally we should go to Oakville because Oakville is an extension. And we're now a top couple of realtors in Oakville, right? So, and there's some really good realtors there. So then we said, well, a lot of people come from Toronto to Mississauga, and we should also have the Toronto market. So it kind of went from there so Yonge and Lawrence for us is going to be really exciting because I think we're going to try and capture a lot of the uptown market, and I think we'll bring some, different face and ideas and experiences, and I think we know how to do it. And so I tell people, listen, you can put me in any city in the world, give me 1 or 2 years, and I'll get that market, right? Because it's not. Of course, it's great once you have it because as long as you do the right things, you retain it. And by the way, when you're at the top, I mean, people always gun for you, so you have to be squeaky clean, do the right things. And GSP said something I never forgot when he was here.
That's Georges St-Pierre people, by the way,
sorry,
just in case. Not all of us are that close to
sorry,
him.
sorry.
Yes.
So he said to me something which I really resonated. He goes, I don't really care what people think about me as long as I walk the straight and narrow. I care about my family and my good friends. Other people, how they're going to judge me, if I'm going to live my life worried about that, I won't have a happy existence because a lot of people aren't going to be so kind how they view you. But as long as you're doing the right thing, I mean, you can't control that, right? You can control yourself, right? So, and I think that was a really important lesson for us. So for us, we decided let's go everywhere. So we've got now 7 offices, and we own our real estate, which I love because we also, you've got the business model, you've got the real estate model. So it's all the above makes sense, right? So.
And remember, I was saying that part of the show on The Chosen Life is people watching, understanding your life, how you went about it. But inevitably, when you hear one story, people start thinking about their own stories, start reflecting. I can tell you every word you say, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about my story and I'm thinking, wow, like, where was I at? How did that work? And one of the things I didn't think about was because when I joined Cormans, it was a Mississauga law firm. Jerry Corman started in the 70s and it was known as a Mississauga law firm. Only issue is I come in and I'm based out of Toronto, Vaughan area. So what did we do? We opened up fairly quickly an office at Bathurst and Lawrence and we're around that area because it's a corridor. You can't drive that area without driving on Bathurst. And sure enough, you're going to drive by us and we have signage because I wanted people to know we're a Toronto firm as well. And then we moved on to Markham and we're up in Cottage Country in Gravenhurst area.
How many offices?
So now we have four.
Perfect.
Plus satellites. But the main thing is that people know, even like we talked about off air, about going virtual and paperless, because in this day and age with law firms, if you're doing it right, clients could be anywhere in the world. I could be anywhere in the world, and I can sign people up the same way. We don't have to go to the boardroom and sign and take time off work or pull away from your family during dinner. There was at one point, Sam, that I was a traveling roadshow. Like I was literally meeting people sometimes at 10 different locations. I'd have to go to meet at a Starbucks. I went to people's homes. We meet at boardrooms. I wasn't eating dinner till 10, 11 o'clock at night. And here's my son waiting for me, and he's young. And it was hard. And there were times I would bring him to appointments, and he's lugging along, and we're signing up, and Daddy, let's go home. Daddy, let's go home. But now it's very easy. Now we can have dinner. I can pull away the computer. We can sign up very, very simply. But at the time when I first started at Cormans, I knew if I'm going to be Mississauga law firm, but I am a Toronto-based lawyer, I'm not going to have my client base very, very long. So I went from a different end, but I totally understand from that. Because at the end of the day, the reality is perception is reality.
Exactly.
And if every single piece of signage and everything is in one location, that's it. But that's not bad. For some people, that's very good.